My story takes place when I was studying abroad. In Buenos Aires, Argentina. So I spent 2 semesters there. Everybody in my program had host families. So your host family, basically you stay with them. They're supposed to provide you 2 meals. Before going, I didn't speak Spanish very well.
I still don't speak Spanish very well.
I studied it in school, like a lot of people do. I meet my host mom right before I came. She was in a major car accident where she obliterated her leg and she was in a wheelchair. Not permanently, temporarily, because she hurt herself. I know she's probably thinking I was a bad omen when I tell you this story. She's probably like, oh, I should have known that I just shouldn't have taken any students because I just probably ended up being what she thought was trouble for her. But anyway, of course, if she was disabled or anything like that, that would not be a big deal. But I just felt bad because it probably was a transition for her to have to deal with being in a wheelchair as well as having me, a strange person, in her house. She doesn't speak any English whatsoever. Going throughout the program, I began to understand more Spanish than I spoke it, and she introduces me to her, like, I guess, live-in nurse. This is not the typical situation of people in the program. She's just in this accident. She needs this lady to kind of help her throughout the day. The girl is young. She's from, I think, Peru. I try to bond with her, a little bit of music. I'm one of those people, if I go somewhere, I will speak to everywhere from the janitor to, the president. If you see a janitor or it's a cleaning person or anybody, say hi. What's your name? What's going on? So that's the background. So here's the story. We're at dinner one night and, my host mom, we're trying to communicate. It's still somewhat awkward. I understand more than I speak, but I'm kind of understanding what she's talking about my normal day. I look up and I see the nurse wearing a white belt. And in my mind, I'm like, wow, that kind of looks like this belt I've been looking for a little bit, but it's probably not my belt. I keep getting this feeling, man, that looks just like my belt. It's one of the belts that cinch around the middle, kind of right here, that you can wear with dresses and things. But she has it so stretched out because she put it around her waist and put in her jean holes. So I'm wondering, maybe it's not because it looks different stretched out, but it still kind of has that pattern in the belt, so it kind of looks like my belt. So I'm thinking, like, man, did she have my belt on? There's no way that she would take something out of my room, but maybe she did. Like, maybe she did, because I have this point, I keep seeing it and I have to say something. I can't say like, oh, hey, is that my belt you have on? Because I don't know how to say full phrases in Spanish at this point. But I go, cinturón, which means belt, and I ask her about it. I'm not saying like, take off my belt, but I'm like,
cinturón?
Like, what's that? What's that?
Cinturón?
And then she pretends like she doesn't understand what I'm saying. And then I'm like, okay, that's weird. In my head, because in my head I'm still trying to process, did she have my belt on? Like, whatever, it's not a big deal. But then I'm asking her about it and she's trying to pretend not to understand me. Okay. Meanwhile, my host mom is just like, chipper, doing whatever, whatever host moms do. So I'm sitting there like,
cinturón?
You have my belt on, but saying it again like, cinturón? She's like, oh no, actually no. Basically saying, what are you talking about in Spanish? And looking at my host mom and kind of like giggling a little bit as if they have this private joke that I'm doing something weird, because I would say things that wouldn't be the correct tense or the correct wording or whatever, and they giggle, and it's not a big deal because it's funny to me too. But at this point I'm slowly getting pissed off, like slowly, like this much pissed off, because she's serving food out at this point at the table as I'm sitting there, and she then leaves the room. Okay, maybe, like, I don't know what she's doing. She just left. Okay, but I just asked you about my belt. Why you leaving? Where you going? Where you going? Like, where do you have to go? We were having a conversation and you're just gonna walk out? But okay. And then she comes back. And she's now wearing the belt. At this moment, I felt like my blood rising in me. So I went from like this pissed off to like this pissed off. I was sad that she went and took it off and then pretended like nothing happened, like I didn't see her. She came back with no belt. Same outfit, but no belt on. And I was just like,
Sit down.
because I couldn't, I wanted to tell my host mom, did you just see her take off my belt? And nothing. I couldn't say. I was like,
Sit down.
and that's all I could say at this point. So my host mom keeps hearing me say belt, belt, belt over and over and over. And then she knows completely what's going on, but she's trying to play it. Like, I'm like, okay, like, where'd the belt go, basically? And she's just like, belt? What belt? So she ignored my question. She pretended like she didn't hear me. She took my belt. That's one. She took the belt in the first place. And then when she came back, she pretended like I'm crazy. So as far as my host mom knows, I'm the quiet girl who doesn't speak who doesn't speak English right. Because, you know, I'm trying to be on my best behavior because I'm like, okay, I have to represent the whole black culture, all black people that she's ever seen in her life, because none of her other host students have been black so far. So I'm just pissed. My head is spun 360 degrees around. There's an angel on this shoulder. There's a devil on this shoulder. The devil's like,
You already know what to do.
the angel is just like,
Get her.
and they both are in agreement. I'm in agreement with them. Where's my belt? You had on my belt. I go to my room because luckily I have the same belt, in, you know, in a different color. But anyway, that's besides the point, because I've been looking for this belt. Something that I also failed to mention in this video is the fact that I was missing more than just the belt. Yeah, this video is super petty, but stuff kept coming up missing, so this was like the last straw type of thing. So yeah, back to the video. And honestly, what I hated in that moment more than anything, she tried to pretend not to understand me and was like laughing about it, and then tried to make it seem like I was crazy in front of my host mother. And meanwhile, my host mother has no idea what's going on because I can't explain it to her. There are no, iPhones aren't popping at this time.
What I actually mean is iPhones were only on a certain carrier, and I was on a family plan, still am, and Gabby's brand didn't have iPhones at the time, so your girl doesn't have the kind of money to get a new plan and a new phone. Hashtag frugal, but you really broke life. Have you pressed that button yet?
And I'm mad. I'm pissed, So I go get my belt. I'm like, my belt. She has my belt. I'm showing her the belt. And I was like pointing at her like she was wearing it. And she's just still confused. I was like, you know what? Where's my belt? And she's like, what belt? What belt? Whatever. You're going to get all crazy right now? I've been nice up until this point. Honestly, had she just been like, I'm so sorry. This had happened. But she tried to make me look so bad. And it just... like, she's like, whatever, you can go check my room, but in Spanish. Like, imagine like me like saying in Spanish, you can go check my room, I don't care what belt, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, my posture is different, my hands, the fingers are going, the head's wagging, whatever. In that moment, I was a stereotype. Not proud of it, but I was. My host mom was like,
What are you talking about?
I'm just like, she has my belt. Le robot. I'm trying to think of the words and they're just not coming out clearly. I'm saying belt, corto, where's my belt, donde es mío. All the words are swirling in my head. I am not one of those people that gets like super, super angry like that. And I just hated being in that situation. She was able to kind of like twist it and make it seem like I was crazy. Making it seem like I was crazy made me more crazy. Looking back now, I wish I had remained calm, took the time and looked up the words I was doing to explain to my host mom, but that was out the window. So I go through the hallway to her room, like, let's go. Okay, let's go, little Einstein. Let's go. Let's go on a trip to your room right now. I want my stuff. What else did you take? I want it all back. And I'm still just saying, sit around. We go to her room, and so she's like, okay. You want your belt? Look for it. And I'm like, okay. Lord, got my hand to this belt. Lead me, not into temptation, Lord, but lead me to this belt. I'm praying to God till I find it. Meanwhile, my host mom's in the background like, what's going on? The way the house is designed, she can't get through certain hallways without the help of the nurse. So I'm just like, let's go, girl. I don't care. You ain't got no time to wait for her. You don't have no time to bring her with us. Let's go. I'm looking, I'm just like, man, like how much, I don't want to be disrespectful. I want to just like start throwing stuff because again, that's not me. I'm calming down. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe I am crazy. Maybe it's not here. And then I look and I'm kind of like looking, not trying to dig through her stuff. Like I don't like people going through my stuff so much that even after she violated me and took my belt, I'm still awkward about going through her things. On the wall there's like a shelving down of towels and linens and sheets and things like that. So I'm going through the linens. The Lord guided my hands and I'm going through and I flip it up underneath the towels. There's my belt. But then I went from I'm not crazy to crazy. What is this? What is this? I kept saying it and saying it. I don't know what I'm screaming. I could have cursed. Lord forgive me, mother, if you're watching, I'm sorry. And my host mom's in the back, I'm like, and I hear the clicking and clacking of her trying to get her, oh, I don't mean to laugh. The clicking and clacking of her trying to get her wheelchair through the hallway door. You just hear like click, 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 clack, 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 clack. And I'm just like, dude, what is this? What is this? Click, 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 clack, clack, clack. She's just like, she's shocked. Because she didn't think I would find it. Whenever people say, oh, you can check my phone, check the phone. They think you won't, and I was. And I'm not stupid. Click, 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 clack, clack, clack. I can't even tell you what I said, but I'm holding the belt like, what is this, what is this, what is this? Cinturón, cinturón, cinturón. Remember, that's my go-to word, cinturón. Finally, my host mom even makes it through the hallway with her broken, messed up leg and her wheelchair. When she sees my host mom, she starts crying, bawling. The attitude went out the door and she starts bawling and crying, saying she's sorry. She said she didn't think I would notice because I have so much stuff. And then I have to remove myself from the situation completely and I just go over to my room and I call my mom. Yeah, after I'm like bad, like what is this, what is this? I call my mom. I'm crying on the phone because I'm feeling so violated because I don't know what else is missing. I have a room full of my things. This is where I live. This is my home. Not only have I felt violated, but I'm unable to explain how I feel. The assistant knocks on the door as I'm on the phone like, you know, and it's not like sad tears. It's just like tears of frustration, if anybody can feel me. I'm not doing this right now. You need to go. And then she says to me, you know I don't understand English. Can you just speak in Spanish? No, I'm not. And I said it in English. I'm not speaking in Spanish. I don't care what you have to say. Get out. Slam the door. And I'm not like a door slammer type of person. That's not me. Like eventually I get off the phone with my mom because my host mom, she's like calling for me and she wants to sit down and have a conversation. And she's explaining to me, you have so much things, and she didn't think it was be okay because you guys are cool, and she just wanted to, you know, she was gonna borrow it, she was gonna give it back, she just wanted a belt. And honestly, there was no way that I can explain. It's not about the belt, it's not about the belt, it's just about being comfortable in my home. So I'm looking in the dictionary and I looked at the word, like I was like, how can I explain to her going forward in the future? I'm just feeling paranoid. I'm not gonna know if she's gonna take anything. And I looked at the word paranoid and it must not have translated. I point at the word and she looks at me and she laughs. I don't know if any Spanish speakers out there can tell me if paranoid translates the same way. To this day, she probably still thinks I'm crazy. It like makes me kind of sad thinking about it. It's just being misunderstood, and so many people come to America and people are always like, why don't you just speak in English? You come to a country, you don't know the language. But I was there to study abroad and I wasn't even there trying to make a better life, you know, necessarily in, you know, in direct terms. But I can't imagine being here and just unable to fully communicate what you need to communicate and how you feel. My school is so awesome. They instantly put a lock on my door that night when I came home and told them about what happened. And she apologized and everything, and obviously my host mom never looked at me the same, never made eye contact too long, because she probably just thinks I'm just not. And then the next semester I got different host family, even though I really didn't want to change families, but that's just how that worked. You know, the whole point of the story was kind of just to show how frustrating it can be to be somewhere where you're not understood, and how so many people come to this country and English is hard to learn. Think about all the silent K's, words that sound the same, mean the same thing, homonyms, synonym, all that. it's just rough. Think about me and my cinturón, and I can laugh at it now, but in that moment I was just really upset because it's just being unable to express how you feel and express what you want, and trying really hard to, you know, be a part of something that you are constantly reminded that you're not a part of. So, you know, have a little bit more tolerance out there for people who can't speak your language. Try to understand them a little better. Make that extra effort to help somebody else out. You know, don't tell them just speak in English. You know, it's hard. And I understand when, you know, people get mad and they start to speak in their own language because there's a switch up here that just switches, and you're in pure emotion and you want to do what feels the most natural to you. So I guess that's my story time. Thank you so much for watching. Please watch and like and subscribe to all my videos because I'm here to stay. See you around. Hi beautiful ladies, this is my gym essential video. Basically